Magic Brownies. Book 2 of the Cozy Mystery Series, Camping Girl. Written by Josephine Bintema. Narrated by Josephine Bintema. Chapter 4. An Unwelcome Visitor. We managed to get to the announcement on the bulletin board to confirm Molly and I had indeed won. It was a great opportunity, one I didn't want to waste. We decided to head back to the campground and make a plan of what to bake. This way, we could make a proper run on the food mart. At the clubhouse, Molly and I took inventory of what we already had, freezing it for Saturday. It wouldn't be as good as fresh, but if we were coming to the end of the day and needed a few more items for sale, these were usable. After Saturday, whatever was left over, I would give away. Satisfied with our plan and list for groceries, I picked up cupcake and cookie from Bea. She was outside, enjoying a mystery in the fading light, while citronelle candles burned nearby to keep the bugs away. My dogs got up from the grass, little nubby tails wagging as they caught sight of me. "What are you reading this time?" I asked as I leaned down to give the Bosties pats. Bea had a taste for murder mysteries. "The Tragic Train Ride," answered Bea, putting her book down. "The book is a little boring at the beginning, but it is starting to pick up steam. I hear we're getting a new roof." I accepted Don Miller's quote. I nodded. He seemed the most reasonable. "He's a good worker," replied Bea. "He will do a decent job." I was glad. Everyone seemed to have confidence in Don, which made me feel better about all the money I was giving him to do the job. "Did you have plans tomorrow? I could use a little help if you're not busy." "Of course I'll help," responded Bea with interest. "There is nothing pressing for me to do tomorrow. What did you need?" "Help with baking." I explained winning the baking contest and the booth at the farmer's market. "I'm going to need some assistance if Molly and I are to get everything baked in time." "I'm more than happy to help," nodded Bea. "I'm sure I can round up a few of the others, and we can all lend a hand." "That would be great," I said, relieved. "Well, we'll start around 11. I can grab groceries in the morning and whatever else we might need." Bea and I said a cheery goodnight to each other. Cookie and Cupcake happily trotted back to our camper where Molly was waiting. I really did need to get Ethel's trailer clean, I reflected. My shins would thank me once Molly was moved to her own trailer. However, right now, there didn't seem to be enough time to get the cleaning done. Getting ready for bed, I resolved to try to clean Ethel's trailer on Saturday after the farmer's market closed. We might not get it done, but perhaps we could get it started enough so Molly could move in. Promptly at 11 in the morning, Bea led a small group of elderly ladies into the clubhouse. Agatha, Mabel, Loretta, and Bea had all arrived to help out. I put them to work, and we set about to make as many baked goods as we could for tomorrow's farmer's market. "You know what we should do?" suggested Bea as she whisked some egg whites. "Your grandmother had a lot of great recipes. I know she had a little wooden box full of cue cards with her handwriting on them. A lot of people know her baking, and you should sell out with all those items, especially the brownies." "The brownies!" groaned Loretta with delight. "I must have put on an extra 20 pounds because of those brownies. If you make some, I'll certainly buy them. I don't know what the secret ingredient was Jeanie used to put in them, but they were the best." "She made good ginger snaps, too," reflected Agatha. "Melted right in my mouth." "I love the little raspberry crumble bars," noted Mabel. "Sweet and zingy." Molly looked at me and I shrugged. "I suppose we could see what is in the recipe box," I mentioned. "It would be nice to have some more variety." The older ladies grinned in delight. "Say you will make the brownies," insisted Loretta. "Okay," I caved to their demands. Brownies were always a crowd pleaser anyways. "We will make some brownies. Molly, could you go to the trailer and grab the recipe box? It's in the cupboard by the tea tin. I just need to get these turnovers out of the oven." Molly left to get the recipes while I waited impatiently for the right time to take the turnovers out. Listening to the ladies happily chat about their favorite recipes, I gently took out the trays from the oven, sliding it onto the top of the stove. Taking a spatula, I transferred the hot golden turnovers onto a cooling rack. "Good morning, ladies," came a man's deep voice. All the chatter stopped as we looked out of the kitchen door where a stranger stood, holding onto a small satchel. He wore a dark suit with a crisp white linen shirt. "Can I help you?" I asked in curiosity. "I certainly hope so." He pulled out a clipboard from his satchel, setting it on the floor. Picking a pen out of his pocket, he looked at me. "Are you Ivy Thurman?" "Yes," I answered. And you are?
Tyrone Phillips, he supplied. I'm from the local health unit. We have had a complaint about your kitchen.
A complaint? An indignant bee spoke in the shocked silence. How could anyone complain? We've hardly used this kitchen. Tyrone had a look around the out-of-date appliances and cracked linoleum on the floor. He didn't seem very impressed.
Yet someone has complained. It appears you also don't have a commercial license for the kitchen.
We do, I insisted. I remembered filling it out in the pile of paperwork the clerk at the town hall had given me. I just haven't renewed it. I was going to drop off the paperwork yesterday, but the town hall was closed after they made the announcement about the taste testing contest.
In other words, you're preparing food for resale in an unlicensed kitchen, noted Tyrone as he wrote something on his clipboard full of papers.
What is the complaint about? Asked Molly as she came forward in a friendly manner, having returned from the trailer with a recipe box. We are doing everything to health unit codes, I assure you. Ivy and I have worked in the restaurant business for years.
The complaint was food poisoning. He looked over the worn and scratched butcher's block the island we were working at. What do you use to disinfect?
Food poisoning? Harumphed B with indignation. That's a lie and a half. Here's the disinfectant. I grabbed the bottle, showing him. It was industrial grade. So was the soap we were using. You can see for the dishes we use a 3-step method. Soapy water, rinse water, then disinfecting water before the items are set drip dry on the tray. It's all stainless steel in the washing area. Molly cocked her head to the side, tapping a finger against her lips. Ivy and the girls only did one event, and it wasn't a paid job. It was for a memorial. What event did the complaint say it was?
The individual stated they ordered a tray of baking from your company, reluctantly said Tyrone as he wrote down another note.
Then it is a false complaint, grumbled Mabel. We haven't sold any baking. Did they provide a receipt?
Ladies, I follow up all complaints, clarified Tyrone. Legitimate or not.
You are more than welcome to look around, I said nervously. Everything is clean and working. I check the temperatures of the fridges and freezers myself on a daily basis. The kitchen might be old, but it is in perfect working order.
Let me determine that.
He began wandering through the kitchen, inspecting and marking off things on his list.
You will need to dispose of whatever food you have already made.
What? Cried Bee. It's perfectly good food.
It was made in an unlicensed kitchen, reiterated Tyrone.
Bee scowled. I felt like scowling as well. This was a lot of work and money being thrown out. Let's just put it in the garbage right away. I chose not to argue with Tyrone. If he saw we were cooperating, maybe he would cut us a break somehow. Mr. Phillips, if I were to hand in all my forms today at Town Hall, would we be able to obtain our license in time to bake items for tomorrow? If we pass the inspection you're completing.
If you pass the inspection and have Town Hall approve the license renewal today, then yes, confirmed Tyrone as he opened up the fridge, checking the temperature of the thermometer I had left inside. I'll need an hour to write my report. You might want to come up with a contingency plan for if your license renewal or inspection fails.
I nodded, feeling a little desperate. I gathered the girls to the side. I'm going to Town Hall to get the paperwork filed. I need you ladies to clean out this kitchen. Dump all food, mixes, batters, etc. Molly, you are in charge of looking after Mr. Phillips. If you and Bee could make up a list of items, Bee can go shopping for whatever we need to replace what we have lost, okay? While you're at the town hall, ask about renting the community kitchen, or the Milton kitchen, advised Mabel, just in case we need a backup. Good idea, I agreed. Thank you, Mabel. With a last look at Tyrone, as he took out a white glove to see the cleanliness of the kitchen, I quickly jogged back to my camper. Grabbing the large envelope full of forms and the check I had already written out to cover the fees, I picked up my purse. Grabbing the keys, I got in the bug and floored it toward town. Finding a parking space proved to be easy enough. Thankfully, it wasn't as busy as it had been yesterday with the big announcement. With a few quick steps, I entered the town hall and came to find the board clerk busy at her desk. Excuse me, I started to say, but she held up a hand for silence before pointing to a sign on her desk. The sign stated she was on her break and would return in 5 minutes. You are already back at your desk. Can't you just talk to me? She pointed at the sign. Annoyed, I stayed standing in line. No way was I going to give up the opportunity to be first in line. I checked my watch.
It was nearing 3 in the afternoon. We were going to be baking all night just to have enough stock for tomorrow. Impatiently, I shifted from foot to foot as I waited for the clerk to be done her break. Finally, she put away the sign and asked, "Next." "Hi, I have some paperwork to be filed." I pulled the information out of the envelope and searched for the kitchen license renewal. This one needs to be taken care of right away. The clerk looked through the papers, setting them aside except for the kitchen license. Perusing the paper, she looked up at me. "These take more than a day to go through. Is there any way to speed up the process?" A bit of desperation crept into my voice. "I'll see." She slowly rose from her chair. "It might take a while, and I wouldn't hold out much hope for a quick resolution. We tend to wait until the check clears before issuing any business licenses. You should probably have a seat." "Or," I quickly interjected before she could get too far away. Her words weren't exactly confidence-inspiring, and I wanted to know if Mabel's suggested backup plan would work. If I could rent a kitchen, then I could direct the girls to meet me so we could get started right away. If the community kitchen is available, or the Milton kitchen, they are licensed, right? "Let me check." She sank back into her chair, typing with one finger in excruciating slowness on the keyboard of her computer. "They are both rented by the Tasty Treats Bakery." "What?" I asked in surprise and a little bit of confusion. Why would the Tasty Treats Bakery need to rent those? They have their own licensed kitchen in the bakery. The clerk shrugged. "They rented them for all of today. If you would have called this morning, they would have been available." He rented the town hall kitchen as well. I don't know why. Fury built up inside of me. Bart Baker had deliberately rented all the kitchens I could hire today. The only reason he would do such a thing was if he knew I was going to have problems with my own kitchen at the Happy Camper Resort. There was only one conclusion. Bart Baker had called in the complaint to the health department. "That sneaky, no good, louse of a man," I muttered under my breath. "Pardon me?" The clerk looked up in surprise. "Could you please check to see if there's any way to hurry up the license renewal process?" I asked sweetly. "I'm in a bit of a bind." There was a particularly good chance I might have nothing available for the farmer's market booth tomorrow. Not the best way to advertise my baking skills and fledgling catering business. "I'll see what I can do," murmured the clerk as she took my paper, leaving me standing at the desk while she gradually meandered away.